We on air. Good evening. Today is Tuesday, June 24th, 2025, and the board meeting is now called to order. It is currently 6 o'clock p.m., and all of our board members are present. Director Carson Cottingham, will you read the land acknowledgement for us, please?
Yes, no problem. We are gathered today on the land of the Kalapuya, who are represented by the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde and the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz Indians. The relationship between the Kalapuya people and this land continues unbroken to this day, and we offer gratitude for the land and for the generations present and past who have stewarded the land since time immemorial. We respectfully acknowledge and honor past, present, and future Native American and Indigenous students and staff of Salem-Keizer Public Schools. We invite you to join us in honoring these ancestral grounds and celebrating the resilience and strength of all Native American and Indigenous people.
Thank you very much. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Superintendent Castaneda, are there any modifications to the agenda?
No, there are none.
You're muted.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. No, there are none. And I appreciate the little bit of coaching, even though you had to whisper it to me. Thank you.
Thank you. It's good seeing you. I'd like to introduce to you David James, our Director of Equity. He is going to provide us with the Annual Equity Advisory Committee report. Please come forward.
All right, is this thing on? Yes, okay. Good evening, Chair Richardson, Board of Directors, Superintendent Castaneda, and student reps. For those of you that don't know me, my name is David James. I am the Director of the Office of Student Equity, Access, and Advancement. And as you all know, I'm following in the great footsteps of Chair Richardson. Thank you for that. Tonight, I'm here presenting an overview of the work that the Equity Advisory Committee did during the 24-25 school year. The committee was able to meet 7 times throughout its 3rd year, and we do have an 8th meeting planned for Thursday, so we can report on that later. As you know, the Equity Committee serves in the capacity of advising the superintendent regarding district-wide climate and student experiences, sense of belonging, educational equity impacts of policies and procedures, and one of the members serves on the Budget Committee. Deputy Superintendent Neves has the pleasure of working alongside this committee, and I'm also in the committee as of my start date in March. And Deputy Superintendent Neves is on virtually in case we have any questions. And if we can move on to the next slide, please. So for the year 24-25, the committee is, like I said, is made up of students, parents, community members, and district staff members. The members of the committee mirror the rich diversity that our district has. This year, they have been able to explore their roles as members of the EAC, of the committee, and how they can meet their goals of engaging the overall Salem-Keizer community in an effort to understand how they can help increase the sense of belonging of the students. The members explore various ideas during the year and finally settled on sending out a survey to gather feedback. The committee is also looking at ways to engage our most often marginalized students, and are working to create a list of meaningful questions to conduct empathy interviews. These empathy interviews will help the committee understand the lived experiences of the students and for sure drive the work and recommendations that the committee will give next school year to the superintendent. Next slide, please. The committee learned a lot about gathering survey response. The first survey that was offered at a school at schools during conferences, and the committee learned that they need to be more concise with their questions, as well as have a broader distribution approach to the survey. The survey was not as fruitful as they had hoped. So therefore, there was a second survey that was sent out, and this time it was sent out electronically through Parent Square, and they received many more responses, and they were gathered that way. Next slide, please. The committee spent several meetings digging into the responses and looking for themes and patterns that would help them learn about the experiences that students and families have in the Salem-Keizer School District. They learned that many families really feel like their schools and classrooms offer a welcoming environment. They learned that some students and families were struggling with low sense of belonging and fear due to external factors, not necessarily what was happening in their schools. They also learned that several respondents would like to have more social and mental health support available to them. Next slide. So the committee will continue to do a deeper dive into the responses for the survey and to pull more concrete patterns that they can come back and report on to the superintendent. The committee has made a commitment to conduct empathy interviews and will work to figure out a way to make these interviews happen so that they can learn more. And the committee will focus on helping the superintendent figure out how they can increase the sense of belonging for some of our most disenfranchised students in the district. And that is something that is in line with the district goals. And they will continue to meet next year and will continue to recruit and retain members that mirror the diversity of the district. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. At this time, Superintendent Castaneda would like to speak about this topic.
I would like to just ever so briefly by thanking our equity committee. I did not have the opportunity to attend every meeting, but I did get to attend a few. And this is just a deeply committed group that is resilient and very, very focused on learning, on seeing, on understanding, and on supporting our district and becoming the best and most inclusive version of itself. And so to each of the committee members who came often when it was dark and left when it was late and did so much hard work together, I want to recognize and thank you for that commitment. It really does matter to the creation of a broad and inclusive district, and you're helping us achieve our goals.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Yes, Director Harnish.
Just a quick question, if I could, and perhaps you said it and I just missed it, but can you tell us a little bit about at what age level were you conducting these surveys, and how wide of a reach did you get in the surveys? Were they from multiple schools, a few schools? Like, tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, correct. And also our student reps were also part of the committee, so I don't know if they want to say something, but it was K-12. We sent out the survey K-12 after that.
Yeah, the original idea was to put it out during conferences as a QR code on a table at every single school in the district. And due to just things running more last minute than previously anticipated, they were able to get out, but we're not sure if there were people manning the tables or if it really got put out at all of the tables, which is why we then sent it out electronically through Parent Square.
Ask a follow-up? Chair Richardson.
Yes.
Thank you. Ask a follow-up. Sorry. Hi. Thanks again for your presentation. K through 12, but for every single family, is that it, or seclusions?
Yes.
Okay.
No, for everybody.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, Dr. Sadia.
Go ahead, Sophia, you're going to say something.
Sorry, I forgot the formalities. I just wanted to add in that in the form that was sent out, it was optional to either like put your name and your kind of level of involvement in the district. And so you could put whether you were a student or a teacher or a parent or anything like that. And so that was kind of helpful to narrow down the information we were receiving.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Dr. Underwood.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask an open question. Now, what would it look like when we have a truly inclusive school where everybody feels a sense of belonging? So if we were to kind of say, measure towards that, what would that look like? And because we have 130 different communities here from all lived experiences, and some are, of course, more, disenfranchised than others.
Right.
But pretty much everybody has had a journey of some kind of difficulty in their life. So what would that look like? So that at least we can imagine.
Yeah, no, that's a really great question, Director. I think that because of what you just stated, it's really difficult to answer what it would look like, other than keeping it at at a very not a deep level, but at a shallow level of when we are ensuring that everybody is respected, that everybody feels safe, that everyone feels like they can come into a school building and people know their name. So those are the things that most everybody and most of our staff members are already doing. They're partnering with students. They're ensuring that that they feel safe and included in their schools. And like I said, that's one of the things that the committee did surface from the survey, was that a lot of our students and families felt like they belonged and felt safe in their schools. And it was a lot where they felt disenfranchised was because of outside factors, political climate, where our students or families that belong to the LGBTQ community, because of other political things that are happening, that they felt like perhaps they weren't as well received, not at their schools, but in the overall community. And so that's what we've been finding in the survey that was in the survey results. And like I said, maybe Sophia or maybe some of the students that are here could talk about what that feels like to feel safe and welcomed in their schools.
So just a follow-up question, if that, is it okay? So, I come from India, and some of our Asian communities, we are like a collective society, collective community. And it's, in a way, it's hierarchical. Parents and elders have you start with that and then go to children, because, there's always a tension between autonomy of the Western world, where children want to be autonomy, versus the collective society, which really talks about how familial, how do you find the right balance? So in a lot of these collective societies, including Indian community, you start with the parents and you start with the elders. And that's one way to kind of connect with them. Otherwise, it really becomes difficult and it causes intergenerational challenges.
Yes.
So what are some of the findings from your survey about including family members at every level of our school, whether it is serving in community committees or volunteering time or in different levels? What is the survey results show in terms of involving family at every level for every child?
I don't really remember a lot of the questions. Maybe Sophia can talk about the questions, but in terms of involving families, there is a lot of research out there as to involving families is one of the ways to connect with students, right? Bringing in those funds of knowledge into our schools by respecting what the families are doing and bringing that into our classrooms. That is very important for students to feel seen, for them to understand that their culture is being valued, right? I'm assuming, because you and I both come from a collectivist culture, that when we see that our culture is being represented in our schools, that's one of the ways that we feel like we're included in the schools, and we feel welcome. But when my parents see that their culture is being represented by having that representation of having a principal or a teacher that speaks their language or looks like them, that they feel like there is that connection with, or extra connection with the school district. And so having the meetings that are after school within a time where parents can come in and have that interaction with school officials, with teachers. One of the things that we do here is the conferences, right, where we have times during the day as well as during the evenings, so that working parents can also take part in those conferences. All of those things add up to being an inclusive school district, and when we intentionally hire folks that have or promote that representation, as you see on the school board, right? We have representation from several communities. Then people feel like they're in a system that really welcomes them.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you being here this evening.
Of course, thank you.
At this time, we'll move to our public comment. As a reminder, we provide an opportunity for public comment by virtually, in person, or in writing. Tonight, there were no signups for public comment. So we'll move on to our action items. The first item in our action items selection of the agenda is a vote to purchase property in support of alternative education and district support. I'd like to turn it over to Superintendent Castaneda to get us started.
Excuse me. Thank you, Chair and members of the board. This is an exciting night, actually, for Salem-Keizer, because this is a night where we bring to you the opportunity for us as a school district to make an investment in our own children and in the kinds of learning environments that we know that they deserve. And so tonight, what you're going to hear is the opportunity for us to take one more step forward in signing a purchase and sale agreement that then kicks off multiple months of a due diligence process. There's really three aspects to this conversation, and you have everyone you need to answer your questions. I will start first by talking with you just a little bit about some of the financial dimensions, and then I'm going to send it over to TJ Crockett, and he will talk you through the details of the property itself and the process that we use to move forward. So we're seeking your approval to move forward with a purchase and sale agreement on a really high opportunity piece of real estate that has a current purchase price of $15.5 million. We believe that this is a very good price for this property. TJ will be able to talk a little bit more about those details. What I want to share with you is that this is an opportunity for us that is good for kids, but also, I think, a very prudent financial moment and move. The $15.5 million sale price will be paid, almost half of it can be paid by a positive May revenue adjustment that we received from the state. We got $7 million in additional state funding in the May adjustment. So that is part of the funding that we would be putting towards this. And we also have the opportunity to purchase this property and in so doing begin a reorientation of some of our broader portfolio, which will allow us to bring to you several buildings that we no longer use and start the process of decommissioning them and authorizing them for sale. We believe that the revenue from properties that we would be able to sell will be somewhere in the range of about $12 million. And so through these two mechanisms, the May adjustment and the eventual revenue from sales, we more than cover the anticipated purchase price of the building. There are many important academic elements of this that we can talk through in greater detail, but I will turn it over to TJ because I think it's important for you to hear about the property itself. TJ, it's over to you.
All right, thank you, Superintendent Castaneda, Chair Richardson, directors of the board. The property we're discussing tonight is at 355 Hawthorne Avenue Southeast. It's currently owned by Wells Fargo, and they operate it as a call center. It's 15.9 acres, includes land and a 77,000 square foot building on it. A few months ago, our property services team was informed by our realtor that this property was going to be on the market, and we began to explore what that could mean for our district. Our property services team is always looking or is always on the lookout for ways to improve our position and to support students and to ensure effective operation of the district. Adding this property to our portfolio, we believe, has many benefits, and right now the primary plan we would like to pursue is relocation and expansion of our alternative education program into this site. Alternative education provides the opportunity for students' needs to be effectively met in a setting or educational program or educational model that may be different from the comprehensive high schools. This property would enable us to serve more students and potentially expand our alternative outings or offerings. I mentioned that this is our primary plan. This is early in the process, signing the purchase sale agreement. The next step it kicks off is our due diligence, where we do all the same things that you would do when you buy a house. So we'll check the roof, we'll check the land, we'll check the walls, like we do all the things, right? And so that process will go through. The timeline is roughly trying to close into November. So between now and November, we're doing the due diligence. We also have work to do to evaluate how we bring it up to code to make it an educational setting. So we do know some renovation work will be required in this space. Although some of the space is almost ready use now, it'll be working with the city to get the zoning and the, correct and the occupancy correct in order to serve students there. There are some other benefits to where this building is as well. It's near the intersection of Hawthorne and State Street, so it's in a fairly central area of town. It has existing bus service nearby in order to support students who are using it. Other kind of benefits it has is it has a server room. We would like to move out of the Paulus complex and where our technology center currently is, and that's where one of our big server rooms is housed. This building already has a completed one in it, which would save us the construction costs of a new facility in order to vacate the current place where that is. There's expansion opportunities with the building, both off the building as it currently sits and on about 3 acres of land that's across the parking lot that we believe is also buildable. So there is expansion opportunities there for the future. Many of the security features that we like to have in our schools are already built in because Wells Fargo and before that another bank owned this facility, so they have a certain security posture that they like to take. It matches well with what we like to do with the secure vestibule, outdoor secure areas. So we think some of that work's already done. Really rare to find a building with as much parking as this has anymore in the district. And we believe that the price we offered is below market value. Part of our due diligence, of course, is getting the appraisal to verify we're not spending more than what the property is worth. We anticipate that our offer is lower than what it's worth, but we won't pay more than what that offer is. If for some reason we weren't able to make it an education space, we still have opportunity for the district to better run our operations. Right now, we lease a building about that size for some central service staff, which includes our curriculum, our equity departments. Right now, that's lease space. They would all fit in this new building, so that's kind of our fallback plan. But as I mentioned, our primary goal and desire and what we will work towards is consolidating and expanding our alternative ed programs. And so I ask that you please approve or authorize the PSA, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Are there any questions?
I do.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Director Hudson?
I appreciate you. I'm really interested in, so we talked about alternative education. It sounds like for certain likely that our server room, you said the admin offices will be there, or, staff offices. Can we talk more about the specific student alternative education programs that are expected to be housed on this property? And then I think you said 3 acres. It's a total of 15.9, so that's what you're talking about, expansion. So I'm wondering with that, if I may just put this in one question, thanks, 2 separate. If we're thinking about pulling multiple student alternate programs in, are we thinking about building and having separate buildings and fences and structures for each individual system? Does that make sense? I can elaborate on examples of which kind. Okay. Do you need me to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Chair Richin, Director Hudson, members of the board, I'll start with the property kind of details, and then I see Danielle came on and she can talk more about the specific programs that we're going there. And I do want to clarify, and I apologize if I wasn't clear, our primary goal is really to get the alternative programs in there. If we ran into a barrier through due diligence or other things where we decided we still want the building, and we want to do something else with it, it could become staff space. That's not our desire. Our desire is to do the alternative education programs. The additional land, which is part of the 15.9, the building takes up most of it, but there is another 3 acres on it that would be available for us through this sale for like future development. One of the challenges we have ran into in the district is when we have opportunities to expand a program or hire additional staff, we end up leasing space because we don't own enough of our own things. And that's part of why the consolidation of the alternative ed programs will save us leasing money, because that's kind of how we've perpetuated that. And the reason we have a current large lease for staff is because over the years we expanded programs and didn't have the buildings, and so now we're into this kind of large lease. So we're really trying to set ourselves up into a better position to accommodate that future look. So the extra 3 acres doesn't have a slated plan now, but in the future we would be able to use it for something.
Thank you, that was good. So the 3 acres, does that include the parking, or in addition to the parking? Do you mind me having you specify while we're on that topic?
Chair Richardson, Director Hudson, the 3 acres that's available is not including the parking. So there's a little over 300 parking spots on that site now, and this is currently a grassy area, so we'll mow it for the foreseeable future. Yeah. And then I'll ask Danielle to chime in.
Hello, board directors and Director Hudson. I want to talk a little bit about your question around alternative education programs. One of the things that would begin work once we have your approval to begin moving this forward, would actually be an engagement with our teams who currently work in alternative education, some of our leaders at our schools who have identified for us needs for other students who may need options other than our traditional comprehensive schools, and as well as hearing from our students, as we heard from Director Jaimes and Sophia earlier, the need for us to understand what our students need and to build programs for them. We won't have a definite answer as to which of our existing programs would come into this facility until we do that work together. And so what we looked at as we looked at this particular building is the opportunity that it provides that all of our current alternative education programs could be physically housed in this space. There's also space for us to expand either an existing program or to add a program that could meet the needs of students who are currently don't have the option that they're looking for, something that might be proactive and help us to retain students who otherwise may be at risk of dropping out, or help us to retain and successfully reach students who need a different kind of learning, whether it be project-based or something else that could be of high interest to them. And we want to look at our data, understand our patterns of achievement, our patterns of success, and really leverage this opportunity not only to bring together some of our existing programs who will then be able to benefit from having their leadership and their support staff in the same building, so they're able to be efficient there, but also to serve additional students who might be able to find success earlier, rather than some of our students who come into our alternative education programs at the end of their career and are trying to really determine how they'll reach their goals. So I would love to be able to give you more specifics about exactly what will that mean for the design of how we'll use the spaces and whether or not different programs will be in collaborative spaces or separate spaces, but that really is going to come out of the design that we'll do based on your approval this evening, moving forward with our due diligence, and then also our work with our teams and learning from students and building something that meets the needs of our students and our families.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
But
go ahead,
you
follow up.
can, okay. Is it okay first if I follow? Thank you.
Director Hudson.
Okay, bless you. Thank you for that. I appreciate. So I know we've talked about in the past when we've built and absorbed different buildings in the district, the fact that we're going to have some follow-ups as progression goes. I'd be super interested if we don't, I haven't heard this yet, so I just want to make sure it's in the plans, to continue to truly closely be able to discuss that growth as it comes. So say we had mamas and babies over there. So would we still have a delegated area just for them with the same or similar setup that they have right now as they're accustomed to? And then say we're going to bring in either a high-risk area or maybe some kiddos from Roberts, from middle school or high school, then would they have their own secluded area and so on? Are we going to be able to, as we see that need, as you mentioned, the engagement to the staff becomes, continues on after we decide whether or not we want to purchase it. Once the staff does decide on a specific move, are we going to be kept abreast as a board and kind of asked in part of that? Thank you, sorry. Does that make sense? Your question? Thank you.
So definitely we want to make sure that our overall community is involved. So we want to engage with you all about what we're looking at, because as we move through this, if we move programs from one location, as TJ said, we would actually be sort of recouping those lease fees, right? And so that will be something we'll be keeping you abreast of in terms of the finances. We'd also be moving through our planning as we go through things about zoning. As you mentioned, something like our teen parent program was going to have different zoning requirements than a program that doesn't have students who are under the age of 5. And so those will be ongoing conversations as both we're doing design and keeping our community in the loop about what the plan will be for both ensuring that we're operating the programs well and that we're designing for something that will serve us in the future.
If I could add on to Danielle's comments, the engagement of the staff who know their programs and their students so well is going to be central to all of the decisions around program design and building design. But I think one of the things that is most inspiring to me about this opportunity is that it gives us a chance to invest in a space that is really worthy of our alternative education students. And when we have a chance to give our students a space that is inspiring and people that know them well, when we get a chance to build something that's really designed for their needs, not just the building, but the academic program that happens inside of an intentionally designed space, what I am confident we will see is what many other systems have seen, which is that our students are transformed. And I think that that aspiration, that idea that this building isn't just a building, this is an opportunity to do something that is meaningful to the life trajectory of students who I think one could argue need our support the most.
Dr. Sandragiri.
Oh, thank you very much. You know, to me, it's like 15 million for 15.9 million acres. It's kind of a good bargain to start with. It's almost like $1 million per acre in the middle of a very safe neighborhood compared to, you know, some parts of Salem. So that's one appealing thing. And from some of the photographs that I've seen, it's really appealing. It kind of looks like a college campus, and you know, the space is such. And to me, it's very good for, you know, it just respects the inherent dignity of our children who are kind of struggling with all kinds of things or whatever it is. They will feel good and they will feel like coming to this place. It's a safer place, so I would feel that it'll help. But we're talking about mother baby and the teen program. I mean, you know, if there is a way when you're all eventually design in such an intentional manner that we have a nice place for this mother baby part of the program, because sometimes I find it's a little crowded where it is right now, especially during break between classes. There is a lot of traffic very close to those babies. So this will be what my hope is. And because, you know, in the early years, if you can create that kind of space and that kind of a safe spot for these little babies, we have a good trajectory moving forward. And it also helps with the bonding of mother and baby in a place that allows them. Now, having said that, we'll need to get some zoning. We'll have to look at the building and then make sure it is a baby zoned and mother zoned and children zoned and, you know, all the zoning permission and retrofitting. While that is there, we have already invested 15 million. So can we move the staff in and start recouping some of the dollars and cents from not having to pay the lease building or start selling some of the building? Because after investing, it, you know, I'd rather we start using it from day one rather than have a big space. A good example is here. This is a good big space that I could have a little conference and outside and make money out of that.
Yeah, Chair Richardson, Director Chandragiri, members of the board. So the first I want to just to clarify the timeline on the actual investment wouldn't be until we close, which is November, or that's kind of the target for that. So there are opportunities if the building won't fit our need to get out of it. Once, if we've made it past that point, we're going through the rest of the processes. We have had some discussions and thoughts, and we'll have more going forward about how we can make that space usable for us immediately. One would be the server move, which I understand isn't people, but that is a fairly large expense to build the server room. And then there are some areas of the building that for adults are really ready to go, and we'll start looking at like what can we do with that while we go through the process, because you are correct, it won't be a fast process to get it renovated and up to the e-occupancy we need or the pre-K occupancy we need. So while we're doing that, we will be doing what we can to put that building to work for us.
Thank you.
Yes.
I would like to make a motion. Yeah, okay. I move that we approve the purchase of property in support of alternative education and district support.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'd love to second it.
And we've had the discussion, I believe. So, all in favor of purchasing? Oh, we had it. Or did you want to say? I'm sorry.
No, I'm good.
All those in favor of purchasing property in support of alternative education and district support, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Are there any abstentions? No. Thank you very much. The last item on the agenda this evening is a vote to approve the May 20, 2025 special district election results for 4 school board member seats. On June 16, 2025, Bill Burgess, the Marion County Clerk, certified the final tallies from Marion County for the May 20, 2025 special district election. The results were published in the board packet and can be found on the Marion County Elections website. The official swearing in of our new board members and student advisors will take place at the July 8th board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the May 20th, 2025 special district election results for 4 school board member seats as presented?
Yes, I do.
Dr. Sandra Gary? And at this time, I'll open the floor for discussion.
I'll second.
And it was seconded by Director Maria. At this time, I'll open the floor for discussion. Yes, Dr. Sandegari.
I just want to congratulate all the 4 candidates for stepping up. Good job. You know, Lisa, Karina, Jennifer, and Mel, thank you for doing this. This is a particularly turbulent and challenging time in our nation's history, in the history of public education, the state's funding, and all kinds of things. But it is also important for people to step up, run for election, and more important than that, roll up your sleeves and show up. So I really look forward to the next moving forward, that how do we continue to work together and just get our focus back on all our students, because, you know, there's going to be, it's not a secret that there will be challenges, but I have full confidence that if we can put our energy and focus on all our students and our school district, be a little selfish about our children and our students, then we'll come out okay. So with that, I want to congratulate you, Lisa, Karina, Jennifer, and Mel, if you're listening. And I look forward to others' discussion and vote.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to make sure that Director Carson Cottingham and Director, I keep wanting to call you a doctor tonight, Director Pressey know how much we appreciate their service on the school board. You have been an asset to Salem-Keizer and students, staff, and families, and you will definitely be missed. Please make sure you stay tuned to our school board meetings. Would you all like to have any words this evening?
Yeah, I think we said everything we wanted to say last time around, so thank you.
And to our 2 student advisors, we want to thank you very much for your time and service to Salem-Keizer School Board. You've been very faithful. Your wisdom has been just wonderful. You've spoken out on things that we need to hear and know, and we sincerely appreciate that. And we are looking forward to hearing great things about both of you as you go to that next level. Sophia, would you like to say anything?
I want to applaud Caden's commitment to show up during graduation season. But I don't really know what you said last time, so I don't know what to say here. But it's just been a really great experience to be on this board, and I feel like I've been on a large handful of committees, but there's really not one quite like this one, at least that I've been on. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's been something that really gives you a good look into the real world and putting everything into perspective, if that makes sense.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, and good luck to you. Caden, would you like to say your final?
I know I did mention it at the last meeting, but I just want to express that I've really enjoyed my time on the board. I've really enjoyed my time getting to know all of you and talk to you and, you know, share stories and get your guys' wisdom. It's meant a lot, and yeah, I'm gonna miss it.
We're gonna miss you, and good luck to you. Superintendent Castaneda, would you have any words that you need to share?
Just that every time we're at this moment, we are thanking student board members, and in this case, board members, for years of dedicated service. And at the same time, we're welcoming in new people who will bring new perspectives and a new round of dedication to our schools and to our students. So thank you so much to those who are coming in, but also welcome to, I'm sorry, those who are going out, but welcome to those who are coming in.
Thank you. We didn't do the vote? I'm so sorry. At this time, all of those in favor of approving the May 20, 2025 special district election results for 4 school board members, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It was unanimous. Thank you very much. I want to thank you all for your time this evening. It is currently 6:47. This meeting is adjourned.
So fast.